Hello, my name is Michael Block, and I'll be comparing two alto saxophones today. Both of these saxophones are professional level. One is modern and one is vintage. The modern saxophone is a YAS-82z, also known as a Custom Z alto sax. And I'll be comparing that to a vintage Mark VI saxophone by Selmer Paris. Now, I should say that this Selmer Paris Mark VI is from 1973, serial number 213,000. So that puts it in the last couple years of production before they phased over into the Mark VII. So we're comparing a modern Yamaha to a later vintage Mark VI. Okay? So I'll start with the Custom Z, as you can see, is in pristine condition, really great shape, barely any scratching at all. Yeah, really a great horn. So for both examples, I'll be using a standard Meyer 5 mouthpiece, and that's with a Francois Louis, I think it's pronounced, pure brass ligature. It's a great leg, I love it. I have it on my tenor setup as well. So, Custom Z, I'm going to start off on both of these playing Confirmation by Charlie Parker. And then I'm going to go throughout the range of the horn, the C major scale, and then do a little bit of free improvisation so you can get a feel for all the different ranges and dynamic levels. Okay? So here's Confirmation. Yamaha Custom Z. Now the Yamaha Custom Z and a lot of modern saxophones are said to be based off the Mark VI. Mark VI was a huge hit for 20 years. They really revolutionized the actions of the key work and the dimensions of the horn. Like I said, this is a later Mark VI, which some might call that a third series Mark VI because they made a lot of changes over the years. Some characteristics of the later Mark VIs. Obviously, this one has a lot of lacquer left, so you know, a lot of the later ones do because they just haven't been around for so long. The bow has been shortened in later models, and yeah, overall, it's a great horn. I think it stands up against any of the other vintages. So here we go. This is the 1973 Mark VI Confirmation. I love this horn. Um, and it may be because this is my horn that I've had for a little bit while longer than this one. I used to play a Kyleworth, but I really fell in love with this one. So let's talk about some of the differences. With the Mark 6, I noticed that there's a lot more resistance. I feel like I have to blow a little bit harder. I don't think that's because of any leaks, because I have had it set up recently and regulated and a few pads changed, so it should be in pretty good shape. The springs have a lot more tension, and like the Yamaha, it has really good projection. The Yamaha, on the other hand, seems to have lighter key action. It takes a lot less force to push the key all the way down, enabling me to play really well, but not offering a lot of bounce back on the flex of the keys. Similarly, it's a much more free-blowing saxophone. I can pour a lot more air into the horn with a lot less resistance. Some people prefer one way or the other. I would say I like to be somewhere in the middle. As far as intonation goes, I noticed on the Yamaha that the C sharp and the D are a little more spread apart than they are on most instruments. The D is typically a sharper note, having all the pads closed. C sharp is a little bit flat, having all the pads open. It's a little harder to get over that gap on the Yamaha. So, in conclusion, the Mark 6 has a really, really solid tone. Very sweet, very full, round, and luscious. And it projects really well, too, just like the Yamaha. The Yamaha has a great tone, too, and it has some sweetness. But it's a little bit more focused, a little more direct, and maybe better for cutting over amplified instruments, maybe in a big band. So it's really up to personal taste. There's also a big price difference, too. Mark 6s, depending on what year, can go between $3,500 and $6,000 to even $10,000. Okay, whereas the YAS-82z over here is these are going for about $2,600 on eBay. I'm actually currently selling this one. If you're interested, if it isn't for sale anymore, it'll say in my post. But $2,600 for the Yamaha. Thank you for listening.